All right, as you might guess, we're going to look at case 3 here. And so if I set up my auxiliary equation, I'm just going to skip straight to that. I'm going to have x squared plus x plus 1. And I guess I'm not skipping straight to there because it's already set up in the correct form. So my x values are going to be -1/2 plus minus square root of 1 minus 4 is going to be -3/2. So of course this is going to be -1/2 plus minus √3/2i. All right, so I've got my imaginary roots. I can express them this way, or if we remember back to our cis notation, that means that I'm going to write it as my the radius, so the length of the hypotenuse when I write this on the imaginary plane. So I've got my reals and I've got my imaginary in the complex plane. So I've got -1/2 is my real component, and then the first one, positive √3/2 up here. So if I think about this picture here, well, I want to know the length of my radius value there is r. So I know r squared is 1/2 squared plus √3/2 squared, which is 1. So my radius length is 1. I also know by inspection that this being -1/2, this being √3/2, that is going to give me this angle here. That angle is 2π/3. So I could say that alpha, or x1, is equal to 1 cis. So that's going to be, cis is cosine plus I sine of whatever this angle is. This angle is 2π/3. If I repeat for my minus √3/2, that's this one down here. The only thing that's different this time is now my angle is -2π/3. So I'm going to say plus minus, and this is going to be x again. So it's x1 and x2. All right, since we have our values of x written in our cis notation, we can come back to this idea that u sub n is equal to a cos 2πn/3 plus b sine 2πn/3. So this comes from what we originally stated with our cases, that u sub n is r to the n. Of course, our radius was 1, so we don't need to have that written down. And now I can come back and find my values of a and b. So to be thorough, we could write r 1 to the n in front of this. All right, so u sub 0 is going to be a cosine of 0 plus b sine of 0, and that's 1. Cosine of 0 is 1, so a is 1, u sub 1. That's going to give us a cos 2π/3 plus b sine 2π/3, also equal to 1. I know that this is 1, this is -1/2, so that's going to give me b √3/2 equals 3/2. Knowing that this was -1/2, move it to the other side. That tells me that my b value is going to be 3/√3, which is the same as √3. So my general u sub n then, we know is going to be equal to 1 cos 2πn/3 plus √3 sine 2πn/3.